So I'd say for the first 6 months,
Yeah.
I got a lot of no's because I didn't negotiate on my fee.
And when you know your value and what you bring to the table, a vendor will respect you
100%.
in terms of keeping your fee. You were still in a corporate job, and then you then was doing real estate as well at that point.
Yeah.
You hadn't actually made the full transition over yet.
Exactly.
So
And
I
I
remember
don't care
that.
how many no's I get. It just makes me want to go to the next one until I finally get that MA booked in.
Exciting times. Welcome to the Real Estate Talk Pod, where luxury meets hustle and where every story starts with a big dream.
We are your real estate duo. My name is Victoria Doherty,
My name is James Doherty.
and we are a husband and wife duo navigating the challenging world of luxury real estate together.
Certainly. We're going to talk about experiences. We're going to pull the curtain back and have some real talk about what's going on in real estate, how we got involved in it, and the challenges we faced so far.
Yeah, it's kind of based on us coming home together after a long day's work and just debriefing on the highs, lows, and successes around our day in luxury real estate.
Certainly. We've had some interesting conversations
Yeah.
from our days. It's never a dull moment. So we thought we'd put this together to kind of have a chat and actually tell people what it's really like in real estate. So, Vicky, how did you start? Tell the story. Tell them.
Well, for me, it kind of all started back in the corporate world, actually. As you know, I was working in pharmaceutical sales, but also on the side, I was a landlady, property manager, managing short and long-term rentals.
Indeed, boss lady, huh?
Exactly, you know, I got my foot dipped in many ponds. But yeah, it was kind of just honing in on my passion.
Certainly.
And it worked out quite nicely where my corporate job actually made me redundant.
Oh, I see.
This time last year,
Yes, certainly.
which allowed me to put my full-time effort into focusing on property. And it was actually you that introduced me to the Tyra Nash brand.
Yes.
So I'm going to hand over to you, actually. And
Indeed.
you tell me tell us about your story.
Honestly, well, before I get into my story, I just want to say I feel completely blessed to be able to work with my wife every single day, and the same industry, face the same challenges, be able to kind of navigate this mission of real estate together. So it's a blessing, really. And we're going to talk about everything about, you know, our relationship, our real estate journeys, and how that all comes together.
Yeah.
So very similar to my wife, actually. I was in pharmaceuticals, and I was working in medtech sales. I was doing medical devices. I was selling surgical instruments to surgeons in both NHS and private hospitals. And while I was doing that, I always had a passion for property. I guess my passion for property really started from my dad. My dad was a civil engineer back in Nigeria, and he used to build, you know, houses, bridges, name it. So my weekends, actually, when I wanted to spend time with my dad, was on a building site. It was like, because I knew my dad would be going to work on a weekend. So I was like, no, I'm coming with you. So usually I find it quite funny to be wearing a hat and being on the building site. So I always had a passion for property. And then basically while I was doing the corporate world, I was like, I want to navigate this property world and I want to learn about it. So my passion was always there. Then I went to a property networking event, one of those free events, on the 6th of March 2016. I remember it clearly.
Specifically.
I know. It was such exciting times. And basically, long story short, 2 days of going to that event, on the 8th of March, I decided to start my property company, which was more kind of like corporate lets, so service accommodation. Then I went to sort of buy to lets. Then I developed from there to being a small developer, 1 bed to 2 beds, you know, dip my toe in. Yeah, dip my toe in. And then effectively that just escalated really in terms of my business. And then I decided to take the jump 3 year ago and leave the corporate world. Yes, big risk, big rewards, as they say. So that's what I did. And then from that, really, I met Tyra Nash, and basically we met in a network meeting. And then from that conversation, I was like, yes, I actually want to go into luxury real estate.
Right.
And I basically shook his hand and I said, one day I will be doing luxury real estate.
And here we are.
You know, forward a year later. And that's how the journey started with Tyra Nash International Real Estate.
Fantastic. So yeah, we have a very similar journey into real estate, which was kind of weird when we first met each other. I was convinced that he was stalking my LinkedIn profile to just start trying to like work out what my background was so he could copy me and like work his way into it.
Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I thought some auntie sent you to me. I was like, this is too similar.
He's like, did Auntie Shola send you or something? What's going on?
Honestly,
yeah, it was very, very strange that we have a very similar background. And yeah, when you introduced me to the brand, I took all of my experience from corporate, being a customer success director, working in sales, all my life, and then transitioning that as transferable skills into the real estate world. And now here we are working together side by side. So
exciting times indeed.
It's been a nice journey so far.
No, certainly. So I guess let's share how we went from zero experience in luxury real estate to now having a fully fledged luxury real estate business that's thriving and growing each day. So share a bit about that in terms of the story and in terms of the challenges faced as well.
Right. So I think for me, obviously navigating, transitioning from a completely different industry into real estate sales was a challenge. I guess obviously I had that experience in the rental side. So that definitely did help. But it's basically building a brand new client base was probably the biggest struggle.
Certainly.
I'm quite. I like to say I'm still quite young.
100%. 100%.
So I would say like the people certainly. The people in my network may not have, a portfolio of properties.
100%. You're definitely keeping me young as well, I have to say. So there you go.
I like to say that too. But so it's not like I can just, pick up my phone book and say, hey, do you have a property to sell? I actually have to go out there, get on the ground, door knock, prospect, network to find new clientele, a new pipeline. So that was one challenge. And I think the second biggest challenge is I don't like negotiating on my fee.
I love that.
I'm very real about what I have to bring to the table.
100%.
So I'd say for the first 6 months, I got a lot of no's because I didn't negotiate on my fee. And I was very firm and strong on the fact that I have a lot to offer. And if people can't see that, then that's, fair enough. On to the next one.
No, I totally agree with you. I mean, I think that bit is all about showing value. Because 100%. The thing about it, a lot of vendors kind of feel like because they own the property, yes, they're effectively the cake, and we want a slice of the cake, but effectively they do need someone that's bringing value and actually bringing something different to get their home sold. Because look, anyone can list a house, right? Anyone can start tomorrow, go on Rightmove and Zoopla and list a house, but can they actually sell it?
Exactly.
And that's the thing. And I think that those things are quite important. And when you know your value and what you bring to the table, a vendor will respect you
100%.
In terms of keeping your fee. Because 100%. When you keep your fee, it shows that you can negotiate when it comes to bringing the buyers.
Exactly. Would you not want me to hold the value of your property when negotiating with buyers in the same way I'm holding the value of my fee when negotiating with you?
Indeed,
vendor,
indeed,
right?
Indeed, 100%.
Right.
I know we're getting into it now, but it's literally about telling, what we're talking about here is literally about introducing yourself to high net worth individuals, people with multi-million-pound properties, and effectively being able to actually prospect. So the first thing is prospecting, right?
Yes.
So you've touched on it in terms of door knocking.
I remember there were days where I would be door knocking and half and half still working my full-time corporate job. I'd have my laptop out in the car with me, door knocking with my corporate, like doing a Zoom call with my corporate job. Once that Zoom call was done, I'd be out door knocking again. Like I was relentless and I was willing and resilient enough to make sure that I leveraged my time as much as possible to make sure that I could balance both. So
no, definitely, because that's all about kind of time management as well, because you were still in a corporate job and then you then was doing real estate as well at that point. You hadn't actually made the full transition over yet.
Exactly.
So I you know what, I take my hat off to you actually, because I'd made the full transition to property by then when I got into real estate. So I could actually kind of focus on the prospecting and growing my business. But I mean, look, that's why she's my wife. She's a superwoman. You know what I mean? She's a superwoman. That's what she does. So effectively, I remember those days you were doing Zoom meetings, sat in the passenger seat doing Zoom meetings while, looking at Rightmove and going, right, this house has been on the market for 6 or 7 months. I need to go help them provide a solution.
Balance.
So balance, exactly. Balance. Not Balenciaga, balance. All right? Yeah, so those things are quite important. And those are I kind of feel that those are the challenges when you start in terms of your time management, in terms of managing your energy as well.
Yeah.
And also, I guess when you have a passion is also having that focus on your passion.
Exactly.
Because yes, you have to get the bread and butter with your day job 9 to 5, because that pays the bills, what keeps the light on. But effectively, when you want to get to where you want to go, which is full-time in real estate, you make the sacrifices. 100%. You know, I remember you were working over 9 to 5 and then going door knocking and then getting home at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, like late at night, you know, because you got to do what you got to do, right?
Yeah, I had a vision, and actually I found door knocking quite fun.
Yeah, you did indeed. I remember that.
Fun. I don't care how many no's I get. It just makes me want to go for the next one until I finally get that MA booked in. So
certainly
that was my main challenge. But what about you?
Do you know what my challenge was? Kind of the idea of actually, I'm gonna go knock on someone's door that has a multi-million-pound home, and they're actually going to allow me or give me the opportunity to actually be able to, you know, pitch myself, talk about what I bring, and then effectively be able to sell their house. As that thing, well, you know what, that thing when you're a kid going, don't talk to strangers, someone knocks at your door. Right. And that's what we do on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
You know, we're knocking the doors every single day because these clients don't know us. Yeah. So at first I was kind of like, wow, this is going to take some getting used to. But it's all, the first thing that comes with that is having the faith and the belief. If you don't have the faith and believe that I'm actually here to provide a solution for you, they have a problem.
That you can provide a solution for.
Exactly.
The house been in the market usually we introduce ourselves to homeowners that have had their house in the market for at least 3 months.
Yes.
So to me, if your house isn't sold in that 3-month period, the buzz has died.
Yes.
You're not getting the offers you're looking for.
Indeed.
And you need a change in strategy.
No, certainly.
And a solution to it.
Exactly. So those things were quite challenging to start with. And also I guess it was kind of like I wanted to learn the whole process. So what I mean by that is not just touch the surface, be able to understand exactly the DNA of real estate.
Yes.
So what actually takes to sell a multi-million-pound house? What is the process, the negotiation, the finding the buyers, the prospecting, the understanding of how to actually market a property. So I think that's one thing that, you know, when I started, I just said to myself, you know what, I don't expect anything, but I'm going to work relentlessly to understand this business. And I think that's something where a lot of people kind of feel, oh, real estate, I'm going to be luxury real estate. I'm going to be selling sunset. Selling sunset, you know.
The glitz, the glamour.
Yeah, the glitz, the glamour, you know, owning Manhattan. And I'm going to get paid, you know, tens and thousands of pounds.
Right.
And I think that's the thing, because a lot of people don't actually have the patience. So for me, I was like, I immersed myself in it. I said, you know what, I'm going to go into this. I'm not going to expect anything for a year.
He's not lying, by the way. This guy would be up at like 12 a.m. in the morning, still doing MA prep, still listening to like masterclass videos that Tyron was recording, had recorded for us. Like he literally immersed himself in learning the business. So it does make a difference when you're the kind of person that kind of taps out at 5 p.m. and calls it a day.
Yeah.
Or you're the person that immerses yourself, regardless of you know, your schedule, and puts 110% effort into learning the business, because knowledge is power.
100%.
And when you turn that into something, you take action upon what you're actually learning.
Indeed, applying that knowledge.
Exactly, you can
no,
only
for sure.
bear, you know, good fruit from that.
No, 100%. And I have to be honest, and the support from you. Like honestly, like, and that's the thing, because
guys, I'm not paying him to say this.
No, she's not paying me. No. I cooked dinner tonight as well, so I'm not expecting. Don't worry, everything is all sorted with that.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. There you go. So don't worry, that's all done. But generally, I think it's also having a good support system, because when you're going to entrepreneurship, which is what we're in, right? There's a big risk there, and a lot of people wouldn't take that risk because, their family goes, what are you doing? You're not getting a paycheck every 4 weeks.
Oh my God.
Why would you do that? Why would you take the risk?
Nigel parents.
Exactly. Excuse me, where are you going? What are you doing? You know, that kind of thing.
Commission only, what?
Exactly. Commission only. Who's paying for the bills? You know,
right.
That kind of thing. And it's kind of, you have to, and that goes back to a bit of self-development as well.
Yeah.
So you've been in a position where you're like, you know what? I believe in what I'm doing. I'm going to immerse myself in it, and I'm going to make it happen. Yeah. And I guess the thing about it is you're going to have a lot of doubters in this. A lot of people going, why would you do that? Even your friends, oh my God, why are you living a corporate job?
Yeah.
You're getting paid, you're getting paid £100,000 a year.
Exactly.
Why would you want to leave your job, that kind of thing. So I guess the beauty of real estate is having that freedom, but also there's no cap in what you can earn. I think when you've learned it and have put the hard work in, I think that's the beauty of it.
When you get that first paycheck,
I mean,
okay, you just did it.
I'm in. They're like, oh, is this how we're rolling?
All right.
I was like,
I
thought, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what? That's what it's about. And I think it's about understanding not only the problem people have, but also the story of every single property and every single home that we help in terms of selling.
Yeah.
So exciting times in Little China,
100%.
isn't it?
Yeah.
But listen, this is our first episode, so I hope you thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you guys can see how real we've been, and stay tuned for more. And this is our first episode of.
I know, it's exciting. I can't wait to give you guys more details. And it isn't just for us to explain our journey. We are nowhere near where we want to get to just yet. Success 125% for us is on another level. So we just want to take you through that journey, but we also remember what it was like starting out.
Certainly.
And we know what it's like for some of the junior or the newer people joining luxury real estate. And if there's anything we can share to help you in your journey, then it makes it even more worth the while doing this. So.
No, definitely, and don't hesitate. Get in touch with us. Ask questions. We're here to kind of share our knowledge. We're no gurus. We're still learning. We're still developing.
100%.
But we wanted to kind of share some of our journey. And stay tuned for Real Estate Talk Pod. There's so much more to come. So much more.
Yeah. So thank you guys for watching the first episode.
Thank you.
Hit the subscribe button and follow us on our Instagram page, Real Estate Talk Pod. You can also follow us individually. My Instagram handle is Victorious Real Estates. And
mine is Doherty Luxury Real Estates.
Yes, we look forward to catching up with you and doing some more real talk in the next episode.
Indeed. Stay tuned.